All right, so it tells us these button presses for L1 in our stat edit screen, we're going to use years since 2001 as the L1 list, and then we're going to use number in millions, the number of internet hosts, as the L2 list. So if you don't remember how to get there, we're going to hit stat, edit, and then our L1 list, and our L2 list. All right, and then the next thing we need to do is use the stat plot feature. So we're going to hit second y equals, that's where stat plot is. And we're going to create a scatter plot of the data. So we will turn on plot 1, it's already there. We want to make sure it's turned on. And then down here we want to choose the first type of graph, which is the scatter plot. It's already got our X list as L1 and our Y list as L2. So we should be good to go. We'll go ahead and go look at our graph. Now, we can't see a whole lot, so I can change my zoom, and I'm going to go to zoom stat, which is number 9, so that it fits everything I put in that stat window. And so then we can go and graph and just get kind of close. And you see that it's not exactly linear and it's not exactly exponential. Lost my place. 4, 3, 18. One is at 147. 2 is at 172. 3 is at 233. 4 is at 318. 5 is at 395. 6 is at 433. All right. So the next thing we want to do is create the equation or the regression function. And so we're going to go to stat calc, stat, and then arrow over to calc. And we're going to go all the way down to exponential regression, which is 0. Hit enter. Our X list should be L1, Y list is L2, that's all correct. So we'll go down to calculate, enter. And here we go. So it says y is equal to a times b to the power of x. A is 112.72, b is 1.27. And so we have to then plug that into the exponential regression formula. So let's do that part. We know that our exponential regression formula is y equals a b to the x. And so we have everything we need right here. So we will say y equals a 112 point, it says 3 significant digits. So that means right here where we are, we have 3 significant digits. Actually, it should be 113 since the 0.7. 113 times b, 1.27 to the power of x. Okay, and then it asks us to graph the exponential function over our scatter plot. So now to graph, I'm going to go into the y equals screen, and I'll type in 113 times 1.27 to the x. And here we see our exponential regression. Okay, and then it says discuss which parameter a or b represents the initial value. Well, a is always the initial value. And what is the growth rate of this exponential model? Well, that growth rate is this guy right here, the b. 1.27. And actually, this is the growth factor. Remember when we went back in the last lesson that growth rate was found by doing this. That was 1 plus r, or r plus 1. That was a part of our formula because we had exponential growth. And so what got added to the 1? Our actual growth rate is the 0.27. And if you remember in the last lesson when they gave us growth rates in our real world problems, our word problems, they gave them as a percentage. So then we could even take this one step farther and change it to a percent and say that this graph represents a 27% growth.